This one.
Okay. Namaskar. I am MahaJyoti, your host for asana practice today. And I just wanted to touch on a definition of spiritual practices. Sometimes when we think of spiritual practices, we think of meditation practice, we think of a prayer practice, we think of a contemplative practice. But some spiritual practices are based on our mental attitudes, on the thoughts that we need to cohabitate in some way with harmoniously. And so we have the choice to be content or to not be content. And so this class today is focused on contentment and joy, and how we have the opportunity to bring that, to call that, to invite that into our daily lives. And that it's important when we are surrounded by and sometimes barraged by things that make us fearful, things that may make you angry. So how can we maintain that mental composure? How can we maintain that mental equipoise and instead bring joy into our lives? And I don't mean like bouncing off the walls joy, although it may be, but just finding that sense of contentment amidst times when things are not so much that way. So today's class will be about bringing joy into our daily lives. So how to make joy and contentment a daily spiritual practice, to invite that into our lives. So we'll start today by anchoring the feet in Mother Earth, bringing the hands to the heart. And I like to stick my thumbs into the heart as an extra personal reminder that I can be kinder still. I can be kinder still. So breathing that in that kindness, breathing out that kindness, breathing in that gentleness, breathing out that gentleness, breathing in tenderness, and breathing out tenderness. So the first experience that we're going to do today is called the breath of joy. And so the breath of joy has 4 parts to it. And so it starts with 3 inhale breaths. So we'll be sniffing inhale, going, and then exhaling. Exhaling. So that is the rhythm of the breath. And we're going to, of course, accompany this with a duet of movement. So the movements that we'll be combining with the breath will go like this. We'll go forward, open, up, and down. So bending those knees, forward, open, up, and down. So we're starting with the 3 sniffs, forward, open, up, and down. Exhale, forward, open, up, and down. Forward, open, up, and down. It's like we're conducting an orchestra. Open, up, and down. Forward, up, down. Forward, open, up, and down. Forward, open, up, and down. Forward, open, up, and down. Sniffing in, sniffing in, sniffing in, and down. One more time. Forward, open, up, and down. Bringing the hands to the heart. And breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in, pressing those feet into Mother Earth. Breathing out. So we're recalibrating the breath. And as I visually, internally look down at my body, all my cells are smiling and looking up at me. So this is a great breath. I think it's better than a cup of coffee. All those cells inside have been oxygenated and they're all looking up at me from inside and smiling. Breathing in, breathing out, remembering the beauty that resides within us and the beauty that surrounds us each day. Breathing in, breathing out, that sense of composure, that sense of contentment, and smiling. So smiling is a mudra. When we lift the corners of the mouth, it takes fewer muscles than frowning. And it's a mudra that you only have to smile for a few seconds and your brain starts pumping out all these happy hormones. So whether your heart is into it or maybe it's not into it, you know, using that smile mudra, using our physiology to change our mood, to change our thoughts. So I dare you to smile in this class today. Breathing in and breathing out. So then we'll take these hands and send them up to the sky, open the hands and slide them down behind the back, interlacing the fingers. So as we do this, we're going to lengthen the body and grow it tall. This opens the chest, opens the heart. And we're going to do it with gentleness. So always listen to the wisdom of your muscles. Inhaling and gliding to the left. Breathing in and out, so you can see my hands coming out the waist on my other side, but we want to be gentle with the body. Inhaling and rising to the center, and then sliding to the other side. See my hands coming out over here. So really, this is a nice shoulder stretch, a nice stretch for the heart. Inhaling and coming back to mountain, back to our center, and then we're going to exhale forward. So forward folding, hinging at the hips. So in this one, if you have to bend your knees a little bit, rest your tummy on your thighs, that's fine. And we can lift the hands up to the sky. Again, listening to your shoulders. Breathing in, breathing out. Dropping the hands down on the sacrum and then inhaling and rising up. Exhaling through the feet. And then we'll inhale into a gentle back bend. So remembering on the back bends, just a little will do. Keeping the neck nice and long. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then once again, coming to mountain, and then we're going to release the hands and we're going to actually whirl them around and come down to the ground without engaging any furniture, hopefully. So we're bringing the knees down. And in the sitting version of this, we can either do it with the glutes coming on top of the heels or in the high kneel. So I'll demonstrate this first one in the high kneel, bringing the hands to the heart. Raising them, lifting them up to the sky. Exhaling them all the way behind and interlacing those fingers. Making those connections. Inhaling as we grow up. And then exhaling to the side again. Trying to, again, bring those wrists around to the opposite side. Keeping that neck nice and long. Breathing in. Breathing out. Coming back up to center. We're kind of a low mountain right now. And then exhaling to the other side. Coming, gliding back to center. And then we're going to start zigzagging down. So I'm going to bring the crown of my head into the earth. So coming down, bringing the crown of the head into the earth. And here we can lift the hands again if you choose. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then dropping the hands on the tailbone and coming up. Or you can also bring the hands next to the ears and push up. Then we're going to bring the arms into a T and rotate one arm forward, building that star. And I have my toes curled under. And I'm putting the other hand on the heel as I follow the light. Exploring those areas in life that can bring me joy, that can bring me composure. Bringing those hands into Namaskar Mudra, and they're passing as we go to the other side. Breathing in, gentle back bend. Breathing out. Bringing the arms into a T position and then bringing the hands down to the earth once again. Curling the toes under, and we're going to lift those legs up, lifting the knees up, and we're going to walk those feet forward. Inhale those arms up. Exhale them to the heart. As we reframe things in the positive, searching for the goodness in the world. So once again, we'll do this, bringing the hands up into snow-capped mountain, and then exhaling them slowly down and interlacing the fingers behind the back once again, throwing that body upward towards the sun. And then exhaling to the side. Nice long neck. And then this time you can try exhaling all the air and pausing the breath for just 3 counts. Inhaling and gliding back to center. And then exhaling out the other way. Pulling those shoulders back, shining that heart of positivity into the world. Pausing the breath for 3 seconds. Inhaling, coming back up to the center. And this is where we forward fold, exhaling, hinging forward. Bringing in sweetness into the pose, charging your karmasana with sweetness. Bringing the hands to rest on the tailbone. Inhaling slowly back up. Exhaling through our roots. Exhaling through the feet. Into Mother Earth. And then we're going to inhale towards the sky once again. Lifting the heart towards the sky. Sending those heartfelt intentions into the world. Into our communities. Into ourselves. So in this pose, we inhale and hold that inhale breath in for 3 seconds. And then we come back to mountain pose. So here we're going to release the hands Sweeping them forward and around and down. Coming down to the earth. And as we plant our fingers into the earth, we're going to bring those knees down. And this time I'm going to do this pose with my glutes resting on my heels, so you can listen to your body as to which variation is best for you. Inhaling, the arms open and up, bringing them down and behind, interlacing the fingers, and exhaling to the side. Nice long diagonal, nice long neck. And we're going to exhale and look at the earth and pause the breath. Inhaling back to our center, back to our fortress, and then we're going to exhale to the other side. Looking down at the earth. Inhaling up to the center. And here we're going to crown down. So bringing the crown of the head all the way down to the earth. And lifting the hands up, if you wish, towards the heavens. Inhaling, coming up, or putting your hands into the mat and pressing yourself up. So this time, as we come up, we'll spread our wings, and we're going to take these hands and put them behind the back. So my fingers are pointing downwards towards my waist. Gentle back bend. And then we're going to bring those hands together and do the kneeling version, gliding to the left. Keeping that neck nice and long. Be careful not to curl it down too far as we open the heart, spread the love. Inhaling back to the center, and then exhaling to the other side. Shining that heart, that lightness, that caring for all living beings on the planet into the world. Inhaling back to center. And then once again, we're going to lean forward and come down on the crown of the head. And you can raise your hands up if you wish. Inhaling and rising up, or pushing yourself with your hands. And as we come up, we're going to take these hands again and put them on the back of the waist. And we're going to back bend a little. And come back up. And back bend a little bit more. And then bringing those hands into the mat once again. Curling those toes. And we're going to come up again, lifting the knees up. Coming into a downward facing dog position. And then we're going to walk those feet. Walk those puppies towards the hands. Inhale up. And coming back home to the heart. So we're going to do that again in terms of diving down, bringing the arms up and diving down to the earth. Touching the toes, and you can bend your knees a scooch. Inhaling back up to the sky. Lifting your arms up to the sky, and then let's swan dive down again. Nice long neck, nice long back. Inhaling, spreading those wings and lifting up. And then we'll do this one more time. Exhaling down, connecting with those feet, connecting with Mother Earth, remembering sweetness. Coming up over the head, bringing the palms together, right over the heart. Sealing it with a Namaskar Mudra, which is a blessing yourself, blessing the universe. So for this next pose, we're going to have our feet more towards the edges of the mat. And we're gently going to, do you see how I'm lifting my back foot? And I'm coming to the center and I'm lifting the other ball of the foot. And I'm gliding from side to side. It's kind of a lunge, standing lunge. And at the same time, I'm gently tapping the body with my hands. So we're going from side to side. We're creating a cyclone, a tornado, a hurricane, if you will, of contentment, of even-mindedness. So we're charging our yoga today and sending that intention into the world. So we're cycloning from side to side. We're going to retake our communities over again. So the hands are around the hips, gently tapping the body. And then we're going to bring them up to the waist level. So we're twisting our ankles, twisting the balls of the feet. So this is really good for plantar fasciitis and foot things. Swinging slowly around the waist. And we can even do figure eights here. So there's that intention of infinity that we're bringing into gliding from side to side with sweetness. So we're charging our cyclone today. And then we'll bring these arms up to shoulder height. As we gently glide from side to side, lifting those, the heel on each side. And spreading the love, spreading the joy, spreading the peace. And then we'll go over the head. And when we do this, our corners of our mouths go up. So we're spreading those smiles of contentment, of helping others, of bringing balance into our communities. Flying through the universe. I can't help but smile when my arms go over my head. So then we're coming back down to shoulder elevation. Coming down to the waist. As we twist all those joints. Every joint in the body is twisted on this flying twist. And then we're going to slow the orbit down so that we're gently tapping the hips again. Blessing those hips. Want to keep them healthy. Going again from the very beginning, sliding side to side. And slowing down that rotation so that we parallel the feet up. And bringing the hands back home. Breathing in. Breathing out. So breathing with intention, bringing those thoughts, bringing those intentions into the practice of sweetness, of caring. So then we're going to go into the, what I call the pyramid pose. So we'll bring the left foot up. So it's our lead foot. And taking the other foot backwards. But we're like on two different skis again. So we have two different lines of energy forming here. So once you have that stability in that pose and having a square in the hips, so we're just like the hips are headlights, they're pressing forwards, facing forwards. And then once again, we'll begin this pose by bringing the hands to the heart, elevating them to the sky and beyond, and exhaling them down and behind the back again. So we're opening those shoulders, shining the heart with good intentions. So while we're standing and the legs are straight, we're inhaling into a gentle back bend, and we're inviting that blue sky to come down into the heart, to come down into the mind, to come down into the body. That potential of infinite possibilities into our mind, body. And then we're going to come forward, and we're actually going to bend over the waist. So with the upper body, we're forming a countertop from our head to our tailbone. It's like we could take a board and put them on top of those, and they would be even. So pulling that chin in, feeling where your tailbone is, feeling where the crown of your head is. Make sure not to go down too far. So we're forming a mesa. We're forming a table. Breathing into the table, breathing out, pressing those feet into Mother Earth. And then on the next inhale, we're going to inhale back up. Exhale. And then we're going to go for that blue sky again, inhaling into a gentle back bend. So a long neck, pulling the chin in. So we want that back bend in the back, not in the neck. Looking up at that clear blue sky that is beyond the ceiling, and inviting that into our hearts. Breathing in, breathing out. It's just like a hot line to the blue sky. And then we're going to come straight up. Inhaling and exhaling, and then we're going to exhale over. So we're going to form that countertop once again, pulling the chin into the throat, making a nice long counter. And then from this, we're going to actually drop the hands down, and they're going to come down into the earth. So we're bending forward, straight leg. Bending forward, we're placing our fingers into the earth, and we're lifting that back foot. Lifting that back leg, and then we're going to bend the knee, point it towards the wall, point it down towards the earth, point that knee towards the wall, point it towards the earth, and then open it one more time towards the wall and towards the earth. And then we're going to bring that foot down right next to its partner, right next to its neighbor, and we're just going to hang here for a breath or two. Inhaling up, coming all the way up, and bringing the hands down. So then we're going to set up with pyramid on the other side. So we're going to have the other foot forward, and it's going to take the lead. And then we're going to have the other foot, the back foot, backwards. So probably right foot in front. And so we're going to tackle this again, taking the hands up. So one of the best ways to create joy and to bring contentment into your lives are to help others. So a lot of people who are unhappy, it's because they're too self-centered. So what can you do for others. Inhaling and coming up into a gentle back bend. So every day when we make out our to-do list, this is what I need to do today. At the top of that list should be searching for opportunities to help others. Breathing in, breathing out. And these days coming up to mountain and then over into mesa, into tabletop once again. And it might just be giving somebody smiling eyes, giving somebody a nice greeting. Just connecting with people is a service. Pulling that chin into the throat, so we don't want the head to drop down too far. So we're moving out of the hips, trying to keep the head level with the hips. And then we're going to pop up again. Inhaling slowly back into mountain. Exhaling. Inhaling. Coming up to the blue sky for another fill up. And imagining your heart and your whole being filling with the blue sky of possibility, of positivity. And who will I help today? Maybe it's a simple phone call. Bringing the chin into the throat. And then we're going to come upright again. And hinging down, folding. Making that mesa. Building that tabletop. Pulling the chin into the throat so it doesn't fall down. Breathing in, breathing out. It's like you're in an airplane looking down over the landscape of Earth. And then once again, we're going to release those hands, bring them on either side of the foot, so we're bending forward. And we're going to lift that back leg up. Doesn't matter how far, so don't over effort. Bending that knee so that the knee is pointing towards the earth, pointing towards the opposite wall, pointing towards the earth, pointing towards the opposite wall, pointing towards the earth. Thinking about how we'll help others today. And then pointing to the earth and bringing that foot down right next to its neighbor. And then we're going to come all the way down. So then we're bringing the knees down, crossing the legs, coming into a simple cross-legged position. So while we're here, we're going to orbit around. Holding on to those knees for dear life as we go back a little, to the side a little, stretching to the side. Then we're forward folding and sliding to the side. Coming to the other side. Seeing how that lower back is today, coming way back. Coming to the side and to the front. And then we're going to change directions. Coming back. Leaning to the side, but keeping both those sitting bones planted in the earth. Forward folding and gliding. And then we come to the other side, around to the back. Coming to the side once again. And coming up. Taking a few breaths here, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. So then we're going to come into tabletop. Crawling, coming into all fours, the knees hip width apart. The hands are spread like starfish as they meet the earth. And the hands are shoulder width apart. We're going to do some cat-cows. Inhaling, creating that valley in the back. Exhaling and doming to the sky. Inhaling, creating that valley once again. Feeling that wave of movement. Exhaling to the sky. Once again, inhaling, raising that tailbone, feeling that wave of energy move up the spine. Exhaling, doming, rounding the back. And then once again, we're going to bring that knee to the left elbow and sweep the leg out behind. Knee to elbow. Exhale the leg. Inhale the knee. Exhale the leg. Inhale the knee. Exhale the leg. And then we're going to do it on the other side. Inhale the knee. Exhale the leg. Nice little duet that can soothe the back and bring equanimity at least to your back. And then we're bringing that knee down. Then we're going to take that left leg, stretch it out. Oops, I'm too far up. Let me scoot back a little bit. Bring that left leg and glide it out. And bring that right arm up. So it's over the head. Breathing in, breathing out. And then we're going to bring those two body parts in towards the core. Scrunching them in, sending them out. Scrunching them in, sending them out. Scrunching them in, sending them out. And then we'll place that hand and the knee back into tabletop. So then we're going to do it on the other side, sending that right leg out behind. And then the left arm over the head and beyond. Breathing in, breathing out. And then we're going to bring these two limbs in, bringing them in towards the center, sending them out. Bringing them in towards the center, sending them out. Bringing them in towards the center, sending them out. And then bringing the hands and the knees on the floor, on Mother Earth. So then we're going to come around a little bit into another kneeling pose. So again, with this pose, you can do it with a low kneel, glutes on the heels, or a high kneel. So I'll start it off in a high kneel, bringing the hands from the heart. So in yoga, we try to start each pose with heartfulness, bringing that intention and spiritualizing our asana practice. Inhaling these arms over the head, so the fingers are touching or they're pretty close. And then we're zigzagging down, 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 bringing those hands to the mat, sliding them away from the body, bringing the forehead down into the mat, and then bringing the hands a little bit close to the head so we haven't overextended the arms. And then opening the hands. So we're releasing all of our gifts. We're releasing all of our troubles at the feet of the universal force or the supreme, whichever ideation you prefer. And then bringing the hands up or pressing into the earth. Coming up, and then we're going to smile. Smile those arms all the way down. Bringing them up the chakras and back to the heart. Pausing for a second and then going over the head as we charge those hands with heartfulness. Exhaling down, so this is really good for the abdominals. Sliding those hands away from the body and then bringing them back into the head. Opening the hands. Releasing your troubles, releasing your worries. And then inhaling those arms back up. And smiling all the way down to whatever the universe presents you with your troubles, with your gifts, with your worries. Coming back to the heart. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Moving slowly, moving deliberately. Sliding the hands away and then bringing them back in to protect the shoulders from overextension and opening the hands. Letting something go. Releasing something that has been muddying up your mind. Bringing the hands together and inhaling. So the arms are next to the ears. As we bring those arms up and we smile and shine all the way down. So we'll be doing this one more time. Inhaling up past the chakras. Exhaling and folding down. Trying to maintain as long a line as you can. Opening the hands as you come down. Giving it up to the universe and then inhaling back up. And exhaling down. We're shining. Breathing in, breathing out. So then we're going to turn to the side. Coming down to the ground for a few cobras and a few Shavasanas. So we have the hands near the ears. First, we're melting into Mother Earth. Sometimes I imagine myself as a puddle resting on the earth. Inhaling and coming up into the expression of cobra that is your favorite, or with the hands hovering. So we don't need much elevation, actually, to get the benefits of cobra. Coming up fearlessly with determination, and exhaling slowly, slowly back down. Inhaling, rising with conviction, with confidence, with positivity, and exhaling back down, slowly, slowly. And coming up one more time. Inhaling slowly, slowly. Maintaining that cosmic stance of determination. Yes, I will be positive. Yes, joy is a choice and I've made it, and exhaling down. So as we come down, we're going to spread the legs very wide so that they're off the mat, and we're going to spread the arms very wide. So we're like a starfish on the ocean floor, and we're going to inhale all the limbs up. And breathe 2 or 3 times. And then we're going to lower them back down. Inhaling and raising all the limbs again. Breathing 2 or 3 times. Long neck, so we're looking down at the earth again. And exhaling down. And rising up one more time. So it doesn't need to be real far, just a little bit above the earth. And this time as we come down, we're going to slide our hands so that they're under the forehead. So that we're melting into the earth once again. So helping others, stepping outside our box of comfort is one of the keys to maintaining contentment, to maintaining a life of joy, and a life of satisfaction. So while we're here, we're going to turn around onto the back. With our back into the mat, the legs out straight initially. So once you get there, we're going to take that right leg and lift it up to the ceiling, bend the knee, and put that right foot right on top of the left leg. Make sure it's not on top of the knee, on top of the left thigh. So the right foot is on the left leg, and we're going to take that left hand, so it's the opposite hand, and we're going to turn that knee to the side. So as we do that, that hip comes off, but we try to keep both those shoulders anchored into the mat. And that foot may be resting right on the leg. So the spinal twist. And if you would like to have a twist for the neck, you can look at the arm that you've left behind you, maybe I should say the shoulder. As the left hand is just resting on top of the knee. And wishing this hip spaciousness. Sometimes I will rub this hip a little bit, sending those vibrations of tender, loving care to that hip. So being gentle with the body, breathing in, breathing out, and thinking how you can bring more sweetness and tenderness and giving into the world in small ways. And then we're going to roll back towards the center. We're going to pull this knee into the chest. And then we're going to send that foot up to the sky and lower it down to the earth. And once it gets there, we're going to bring that left leg up and put that foot on the right leg, not on the knee. So left foot is on the right leg, and with that right hand, we're going to turn that knee. Hip comes up, the shoulders stay anchored, and the foot may slide around to the side. And then if you wish, you can turn that head so that it looks at your other shoulder. As we twist deliciously into the spinal twist. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. So breathing in and out into this hip again. Bringing contentment to that hip, stretching that hip but not straining. Visualizing those muscles, that fascia, experiencing spaciousness and stretching. And that the hip is in a state of comfort and joy as we again are twisting all the muscles of the body. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in sweetness. Breathing out. Are you smiling? Give a smile to the universe. As we once again return back to the center of the mat with both glutes on the mat, we're going to hug that knee up again. So interlacing the fingers over that knee. And of course, when we do that, it presses the back into that massage state with the earth. So it's like Mother Earth is giving you a back massage. Stretching that foot up to the sky again and exhaling it down. So then we're going to bend both the knees and the legs towards the sky. And we're going to bend our knees kind of like they're under the, they're near the armpit. So really bending those knees as much as we can. And we're putting our hands around the arches of the foot. Or if you have really long legs, you can grab the ankles. And so this is one of the happy baby poses. And when we do that, it really stretches the back into the earth. So having that contact with Mother Earth, it kind of irons out those wrinkles in the back if you've overextended. And then again, you can glide a little bit from side to side. And you can bend those knees even more so that the soles of the feet come together. Ananda Balasana is the Sanskrit word for happy baby. And gliding from side to side. So you can breathe in and breathe out while you're in that happy baby pose. Ironing out the back. And the next pose we're going to do is, there's a couple of variations. We can either lift the legs to the sky, or you may, if you're near a wall, you can run the legs up a wall, or if you're familiar with shoulder stand, you can do shoulder stand. So we're going to kind of move our body into a position so that we have the legs up in an inversion. And we may have them up the wall. And again, just breathing in, breathing out. No matter which level, which variation you are choosing. And while we're in this pose, thinking once more about how can I bring more sweetness into the world? How can I bring more harmony into the world? Just day by day. So it's almost like every day is a birthday and you have a new opportunity to bring joy to others, bring joy to self, bring mental composure to yourself. Breathing in and breathing out. And again, if your body is asking for more happy baby, do that. So remembering that this is your practice. How do you want to structure it? How do you want to spiritualize it? Usually in inversions, we square the feet rather than point the toes. And then at some point, rolling to the side. and come into a seated position. And we're going to do a real speedy yoga massage. So let's charge our hands with joy, with balance, with goodness, with caring, and go through the scalp, forehead, above the eyes, below the eyes, the nose, sides of the nose across the cheeks, sideburns, up from the chin, and then under the chin. Oh gosh, I had a cold this week and these lymph nodes were needing some help. Across the neck in the front, across the neck in the back. Circling around the shoulder, in that, mining in that armpit, and then coming down the arm. And the palm, and then down the other shoulder. Mine that armpit. Get those lymph nodes, protecting the upper chest and the heart. Coming down the arm to the hands. And then one arm on the shoulders, one arm touching the back. Just a gentle reminder, back into a T, and then we'll do it again. To the back and shoulders, that we love them so, from head to toe. That's what the yoga massage is all about. Coming across the chest, the abdomen area. Circling the lower groin, getting into those lymph nodes, and then coming down the leg. God bless those legs. Bringing that foot up close to home, and just like you're buttering toast on both sides of the foot, just sliding down the top and the bottoms at the same time. And then we'll come around to the other leg. Here we are, mining again. And down the leg. So we kind of bless that leg at the same time. Thinking kind and generous thoughts about how much we're gifted with this body and the lessons it teaches us this life. And then we're going to butter the toast on this side. You probably never thought of that in terms of massaging your feet, but there it is. And then we'll lay down for Shavasana. I'll be sitting while you're laying. And puddling into the earth again, creating that puddle. Reminding ourselves that as spiritual aspirants, we're trying to spend some time inside, going inside. And Shavasana, even in Hatha Yoga, it's a time where we set the body aside and we dive inside. Building those connections on a more psychic plane with ourselves, with our inner one, our inner guide. And as we enter Shavasana, I invite you to join me in the daily practice of contentment and joy. So I'm going to sing this mantra for, oh gosh, I just have a minute or two. And this mantra means love is all there is. Abanam kevalam, Babanam kevalam, Babanam As we're laying down, bringing your hands to your wisdom center. Bringing your hands to your heart. And wishing yourself and all of those here surrounding us a blue sky day of joy, contentment, peace, and kindness. Namaskar. Thank you for coming.